Hey, Eagle Run 2-3. Thanks for tuning in. Got something kind of cool for us today. This is the Lansky Deluxe Sharpening System. Gonna take a look at that. Comes with some honing oil and the little holder. I'll show you how to use that. And then the cool thing here is that you've got 5 stones, and it starts with obviously the coarse. This is a 70, and then you've got a 120, getting to the finer here, and then a medium, which they call, what do they call it, 280? Yeah, 280 for a medium. And what they call a fine, which is a 600, which is getting pretty fine. And then they have, of course, a superfine, ultra fine, I'm sorry. And this is a 1000. Now, 1000 ultra fine, I would probably disagree with that, but as far as if you have 5 stones and the smoothest one is 1000, then that's your ultra fine. I guess that's how that works. So, all right, well, we need something to sharpen. So I have for us the cheapest pocket knife available at Walmart. You have here the let's get this focused here. All right, we have the Ozark Trail 6.5-inch pocket knife available from Walmart for the low price of $4.87. This is a sub $5 pocket knife. Do you need a knife to open a knife? Sure. We will use the Mora utility knife. One of my favorite tools to have in the garage. Uh-oh. Well, that plastic goes on. We gotta get more serious here. There, now we're in there. What in the world is going on here? There we go. Okay, let's see. What does this thing say it has? It has a 2.75-inch stainless blade, dual thumb studs. That's kind of cool, I guess. A rugged glass-filled nylon handle, and of course, the pocket clip. All right, so let's see. Yeah, this guy feels pretty cheap. Well, $5. Not bad. I mean, a lot of play. So right out of the package, let's see what she can do here. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. So one of the things, if you can kind of hear this, is that while it is smooth enough to cut, if you could really get in there and see, this paper is really being shredded. So I would say it's a kind of a toothy sharp. All right, so there's nothing wrong with just holding this in your hand, and you just kind of hold it just kind of in your hand, and then you're able to run the stones. I'll show you how that works here in a second, but I've been wanting to try this mounted up. I haven't always had this vise over here on my little side workbench, and so we're going to see if that makes things easier or worse. When you're chalking this up in here, you want to try to be as close to parallel between here and there as possible. It's not, Obviously your blade is rounded, and so that's not going to always be the same, but somewhere right in through there. Tight and tight. Now you're going to use both sides of this, so your flipping will be done like that so that you're able to do both. And if you see here on the Lansky, you have your angles that are put in right here: 30, 25, 20, 17. I'm hoping that this pocket knife is a 20 or a 25. Most pocket knives are 20 or 25. 25 is more durable than a 20, but okay, so since we do not have any damage, we are going to start with the medium stone, and I'm mostly going to be checking my profile here. I'm going to grab one of the guide rods here, and you need to make sure that you get these. I hope you guys can see this. You need to make sure that you get these as close to parallel as possible. So you're going to put that guy in there and tighten it down, but you need to have a flat surface because you want this to be mirrored across there. Kind of helps it be a little bit. Now technically I think the angle is the same, but it makes it a lot easier when they're going the right direction and they're level. So you know you're right in the line there with what you're pulling through. I've also found that like the up and the bottom of this right here, some play in it, and so you can kind of fine tune a little bit by holding it high or holding it low. All right, so I'm just going to dive in here on this 25 and kind of see where I'm at. If this was a really nice knife, I would put some Sharpie or something on this edge so I can make sure that I'm going across it. But we're just going to jump in with the 25, and it's not really going to matter for us so much. Let's see if we can tell what's going on. Need a little bit of light. Oh, I think we are right on at 25. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to count strokes. That was 10. And I'm going to do 10 on each side. So I did 10 already. I'm going to do 10 more. And then I'm going to flip. There's one disadvantage of being in the vise is you have to kind of handle it a little bit more. If I were in my hand, I could just kind of flip that in my hand. On this side, I'm starting at the heel and going to the toe of the blade. There's 10. Take a look here and see what's going on. Okay, it looks like we're all the way across there on the bevel. Looking good. We do have a burr forming. All right. Great. So, you know, let's keep going in the vise. I think it's a little overly complicated for no reason in the vise, but all right. A little bit of oil. This system comes with oil. You can use water or oil, I guess, whatever you like. There's 10. If you're flipping it in your hand, it is a little bit quicker. think I'm going to do one more round here, and we'll get into our changing stones. All right, we're going to call that good. Now they have enough of those guide rods in here that you can leave this one set up. So if you're going to do more than one knife, you could have one going on each of the stones. We're just going to do one knife tonight. But if you sharpen pocket knives on the regular, I can't think of a more economical and simple and straightforward system. This is $50 to $75 depending on the time of year you buy it and things like that. I got it at Bass Pro Shop, I think. Readily available. I'm sure it's on Amazon. I can look it up and see how much it is on Amazon. But if you're just sharpening a few pocket knives, I can't imagine a better system. I mean, you could do some kitchen knives, I'm sure, as long as they're not too big. It comes with decent stones. They're not high quality stones, but they're decent. Got a hunting knife, a pocket knife, a steak knife, and a kitchen knife here and there. This would be a great system for you that's pretty economical, and you can get relatively good results. Now, if you have a nice kitchen knife and it's happens to be at a 15 degree, this system isn't going to help you, because your choices here are 17, 20, 25, and 30. So more of a one-size-fits-all type thing. But with enough time, you could bring your kitchen knife into the 17 degree. Okay. All right, 10 each way. Do 10 each way on this one. So from top to bottom and from bottom to top. Do one more on each side. Just the 10 count here. Last one. Kind of getting the hang of that flip. Not so bad. Okay, so that was the 600 grit fine. Let's finish her off with the Superfine, or what do they call it? 1000 grit ultra fine. I don't know if Superfine is more or less fine than ultra fine. It is unclear. A little bit of oil. And oh, it feels good. Trying to find a way to hold this as stable as possible. I just really love sharpening knives. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think that is about the most satisfying thing that you can do. And you know, I've got a $300 or $400 knife sharpener sitting right behind the $50 one here. Sure, that's nice, but this is no less enjoyable for me. It's obviously not as accurate, but it is pocket knife accurate. So, talking about finishing this, I need to get my leather strop back set up. If you guys remember, I tore the one that I had, and I promised to rebuild it about a year ago, and I never did. So, currently looking for some leather. I think I'll probably cut out a new board and trim the leather and the board to match. Kind of do a little more custom than what my last one was. So, hopefully coming soon. Now, if you're, I mentioned 10 strokes. There's nothing magical about 10. If you're have a lot of damage and you're repairing that damage, I wouldn't even count strokes. I would just keep on going until that damage is gone, and then more or less when you get to the end. The only reason why you count strokes, in my opinion, and why I've always kind of done that, is just so that I'm keeping the points coming together equally, so that it's not more or less to one side. It's not perfect, but it's close enough for anything that we're going to be sharpening here in my garage. So the counting kind of helps keep it even. You don't want to do 70-30. So 60-40 is probably fine, but all right, let's kind of see where we're at here. Looks pretty good. I would like to do a little bit more. I'm gonna wipe this stone clean, do a little more oil. Okay, I think I'm ready to call it. See if we were able to make this any better. Alright, so if you remember last time, we had what I'm calling a toothy but sharp. It was sharp and smooth enough to cut relatively nicely, but it did have some jaggedness kind of on the micro level. So let's kind of see. It was a fine edge. It was certainly usable. All right, let's see how we're doing now. Yeah, that's nice. So, well, you can, I don't know if it's going to come through on camera. See, it just gives that big glint right there whenever you get that. If you're not looking at it on camera, there's a very high polish on that edge, way smoother than what it was. And while I'm saying that this is an improvement, it's obviously not that big of an improvement. So I have a weird spot to leave this. I highly recommend this knife sharpener, and sharpening with the cheapest knife at Walmart probably is not the best test, but it's a test nonetheless. So recommend the Lansky. Don't recommend the Ozark Trail. Although I'm going to throw this, watch what's going to happen. I'm going to throw this. Oh, wait, you can't even. Oh, you cannot thumb that closed one-handed. Oh, man. You have to come in here with this one. I don't know if you can see the paper behind that. Can you see that those teeth right there? Those teeth right there, they don't show up in the profile, just barely. You can do it with your other hand, but you cannot do. Oh, you can just barely do it one-handed. Wow, that's something. All right. Well, once again, highly recommend the Lansky system. I don't have an Amazon affiliate or anything, but if I can find it, I'll put a link in the description. Let's see. I bought this kit 4 or 5 years ago. I've had it a long time. Sharpened dozens of knives with it. In fact, this was my go-to method before I got the Tech Studios profile, which they're very similar in idea. So if you had a like a hunting camp or a cabin or something, this would be a good thing to have there, because with this system you could repair almost any sort of damage. Definitely keep all sorts of knives sharp. That would be a good thing to have out there. And if you're just an average homeowner doing pocket knife sharpening, this is a great thing to have at home. There's really no need for much else. I really enjoy sharpening knives, and I sharpen a lot of knives, and so that's why I have the Tech Studios profile. But nothing wrong with this. You could use this and keep everybody's knives really sharp. All right, well, that's all I have for us tonight. Learned a valuable lesson about $5 pocket knives, and haven't got the Lansky out in a while. It was fun to use that. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.